I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just to always be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. Running from the lies, slip and get up. Thinking about the bullshit, leading right up. Mama told me one day you run out of luck. Now I'm looking up, quick tail catching up. Born into that trench mind, niggas had no straight mind. Only thing we know is break a bitch and push that bread line. Head be filled with crazy shit like shorty, had my head tied like bitch. You know you ain't coming to me about no bedtime. Ain't no keep it real, I really feel like the pressure is really on me. I know pressure is a bitch, but I don't let feelings control me. I know I've been getting cold and my niggas was flaking on me. So I had to bet some bitches at some parties. But don't blame me for it, don't blame me for it. I'm too cheap for it. Just watch me going, no brakes. Just keep top speed flooring. Bless me, test me, line me up, I know that I'm the next thing. Praying so don't catch me and arrest me. Hope that every night I make it in my best sleep. I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just to always be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just to always be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. Running from the lies, slip and get up. Even about the bullshit, leading right up. Mama told me one day you run out of luck. Now I'm looking up, control catching up. Alright, I ain't resist, but don't take my chain. No, you can't search my shit. Know how it goes. These just praying that shit. Give me my chance before my grave is dig. Bless me, test me, line me up, I know that I'm the next thing. Praying so don't catch me and arrest me. Hope that every night I make it in my best sleep. I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just to always be on go time.
Hey family, Grand Rising on this Sabbath Saturday. How y'all doing? Oh, I hope everybody's all right. If you're breathing, you're blessed. If you're still breathing, you're blessed. Hey David, Copper, Lady Moon. I know it's early as hell on the West Coast. Man, it's negative degrees, -0. It's like 0 degrees here in Connecticut. Oh my God, that's like bone chilling weather, and I can't stand when it's bone chilling. I don't mind the cold because I like the fall. You know, I don't like the hot heat weather. Hey, Demita. Hey, Copper Aborigine, Godspeed, Original Intellect, Bridget, baby, Damon. Hey, Demita. Hey, Medea. Hey, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Man, I'm going to turn my camera on in a minute. I'm drinking all this water back here. And I just figured that we need to really go over. I really don't like to focus on slave, because those days are over. And I just feel like those topics now, you know, that we're very educated, strongly educated into what slavery. Oh, damn, 15 degrees in Michigan. Oh, God. Oh, what's the temperature in y'all states, yo? It's cold. I can't stand when it's cold like this. I can't. I really can't. But I'm souped out. I made some really great soup. And I ate that soup, I think, for 3 days straight. Hey, Hurricane. For like 3 days straight, I had took a whole chicken that I had cooked. 2 whole chickens. And I had leftovers. You know how there's meat left on the bone. And my grandmother always told me, hey, my Lisa, my grandmother always told me that there is something in that chicken bone that it just it cleans you out. It's something. And this old school. Hey, most hated. Hey, y'all, give me 2 seconds because I'm drinking a lot of water. So give me 2 seconds, and we're gonna really get into a really hot topic today. Um, all right, so just give me a little minute, y'all. Okay, I gotta go to the ladies' room. A little minute. Okay, thank you for your patience. Thank you so much for your patience. Oh, let me cam up. I'm gonna cam up in a minute. Ah, so yeah, my grandmother always told me that there's something in that chicken bone that when you cook it down and you make it a soup out of it, with the meat stuck on it, leftover meat. I mean, not the fat, of the chicken, the skin. Um, ooh, 60. I know you freezing, Willie. Sucks to be Hey, Kelly. Um, she said something about that chicken bone is so healthy and for you when you cook it down and you make a soup. And what I did, whatever Willie and them left over on the chicken, some of the white part of the breast meat, I always steal the wings off the whole chicken when I bake it because my chicken be crispy. Hi Tia, it'd be crispy. Hey y'all. So I always cook it, steal the wing part and the leg part of the chicken before anybody else get it, when I bake it. And so whatever was left over, the bone, the breastbone, everything, and meat stuck on it, little pieces of meat here and there, and the soup, the broth that the chicken made from me seasoning it, because I don't use salt. I use strictly all seasoning. It's so healthy not to use salt. So I take all of what is left over and I throw it in my soup pot. Like y'all know, we all got our favorite soup pot. And then what I did was I threw a bunch of vegetables in there. I threw like dry, corn in there. I threw asparagus, and my soup ain't no soup if it ain't got no spinach in it. So I threw like a couple of cans of spinach in there. I threw some Goya beans, those red kidney beans. I threw them in there. I rinsed them off real good because I don't like nobody's juice from their bean cooking. I rinsed them off real good, and I threw red beans in there, right? And all of this is already done. So I let it cook down, and then I throw like some onions. There was onions and a few pieces of green peppers left over from the actual chicken broth that I used to bake the chicken. So I threw that in there and all the broth from it in that pot. And I don't care what nobody say when they say put a filter on the sink and you all right now. I don't care. I don't care. I get bottles of water like this, and I dump that water in the pot. I even do that when I make my coffee in the morning. It's a lot of water from the bottles, but hey, oh, here this camera acting stupid. But I dump like 8 of those bottles of water in my soup water, and then to top it off, because I already got peppers and onions, natural seasonings in it, garlic powder, you name it. Okay, and a little chicken bouillon broth. I dump in like 2 packs of the onion soup mix. Excuse me. You can't go wrong with onion soup mix. So I dump 2 packets of those Lipton onion soup mixes in there. Okay. And then I let it boil because it's already pre-done. I let it boil down because the chicken's already done. And it smells so good. And when the seasonings and everything is already, mixed in real nice with that chicken soup and the vegetables, then I take a box of those bow ties, the Barnella bow ties. They're the little bow ties, starch. I dump a box of them in there, and that cooks down. And honey, let me tell you, that is some banging soup. I mean, I could not believe the way Willie, he loves my soup. He had like 3 bowls of it, and I had like 3 bowls of that soup. You can't go wrong with soup. And top it off with the unhealthy stuff. Me, go get a big old piece of French bread, because I love French bread and Italian bread, and throw some butter on it and just sit there and eat that soup. Girl, honey, it is so good. So I'm a bit souped out right now. So I'll go back to soup after this little Christmas holiday, because I don't do Christmas. I don't. I'm going to sit here and just look just like this on Christmas. I don't buy gifts. I got bills to pay. Sorry, nobody's getting a gift. Seriously, that played out for me many moons ago. But anyway, yeah, that's my story of holidays. And look, if you stop celebrating holidays that your ancestors never celebrated, you might as well you're gonna save yourself a lot of money. I ain't buying nobody nothing, because people are mean throughout the year. I'll just say happy holidays. That's it. I don't care. The day after Christmas, I have bills to pay. We have lights, we have cable, we have internet, we have all this stuff to pay. We have car notes, we have rent, mortgage, whatever. Those bills are important to me. My essential life bills is what's important to me. 16-year-old, 15-year-old, y'all ain't getting shit from me for no goddamn Christmas. What you could do for the holidays for Christmas me is get a damn job. Because when I was young, when I was 14 years old, still not old enough to get a job, oh, I was so mad. I was desperate to want to work. I want to work. A lot of these kids don't want to work. They just want to play games. Oh, hell no. Now, my grandsons, they're my babies. They're still babies. They're 9. And just get them do some oodles and noodle soup and a damn what an Xbox game. They good. So that's it. That's it. It is what it is. Sorry. And nobody should send me no gifts either, because I don't celebrate Christmas. I be ready to go to work the next day. Literally looking forward to waking up in the morning to my coffee and back to work. Now, New Year's, I do celebrate because and I celebrate it personally. And like with New Year's, I'm not going out in nobody's New Year's party celebration. I'm old fashioned, and no women are allowed to my house. Yep, I'm superstitious with the old fashioned rules. Ain't no women allowed in my home on New Year's because they bring in the bad luck. Yep. So it's just gonna be me and Willie. We're gonna play dominoes. Okay. We're gonna play dominoes, probably drink a wine. Now I know I don't drink. Now, Willie is extra. But I be beating his ass in dominoes. He cannot beat me in dominoes. It's a wrap. He's tried every strategy all possible. I beat the crap out of him in dominoes. He cannot defeat me. So that's what I like doing on New Year's. I let him get drunk. That's fine. As long as he's home, he get drunk. fine. But as soon as he get drunk or if he pass out and go to sleep, I'm going to watch my boyfriend on the Chinese movies. I know I'm clowning. All right. But anyway, I'm serious. I'm not buying nobody no gifts. I'm not sending nobody no Christmas cards. I'm saving all my money. I got bills to pay. That's why we in debt now. But New Year's, I will make resolutions. I want to do better things and more things with tribal work and just focus on tribal work for the rest. It's a wrap. And what I discuss with my tribe is with my tribe, not for the YouTube community. My YouTube community is my lecturing. And that all is connected with my newspaper. So that's it. Next year, my resolution in YouTube is to just focus on lecturing and not worry about other people and trying to get together with other people in YouTube because I don't want to. The sisters and brothers that I've gained over the years in my tribe, I'm happy with and I'm comfortable with. Okay? And it is what it is. Oh, Willie, stop. You know what? I knew you was going to peek your little head in here. That's right, because I got the dominoes game under the bed, and I'm ready to beat you down, bruh. You're going to get beat down. Yeah. You stink. So now, just say like if my tribe was here all in one state, I'll be inviting all the sisters. I'll be like, oh, come over, y'all. Have a grown-up pajama party. We'll have a grown-up pajama party, okay? All the sisters in the tribe. Yeah, we be all in like one big old Airbnb because everybody can't fit in my little 3-bedroom unit. We'll all be in a big Airbnb in pajamas. Listen to Aretha Franklin songs and having fun. But one day that's going to be possible. So I love y'all and let's get it in, y'all. So I want to get into, should the neglected people establish a new state, city, or municipality? Now, the one thing that I'm not doing my resolution over here with the race and coming together in community. When I say community, I'm talking about the actual community. All right. Not our tribe. That's separate. But when you in community, community is community. I don't give a damn about race. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not looking to, hey, put all the black people together. Hell no. Because y'all know when all black people come together, okay, it's just a horrible thing. And it always has been. Indians been fighting Indians for years. They've never been able to come together. That's why a lot of our ancestors elected to deal with outside forces, outside people. So when I say community, I mean all races that want to do something, all races that's sick of the same local governments. This is what I'm talking about. So race and color over here, and I'm going to say this in 2025 and going forward, my channel has no restrictions. All are welcome to participate over here. I'm not doing that other shit. It's a headache. And being in YouTube and watching how our people react or act on panels is just disgusting, and I just don't want to deal with that population like that. Now I'll go watch other channels, that I that I watch my same channels when I'm not live. I watch Bap or Smoke whenever one are live. Other than that, I'm good. I'm really good over here, and I like our audience over here. It's beautiful. Seriously, it's beautiful. So let me move on. So starting in January, it's all she wrote, because I really think that there are important things that our people need to understand, and they don't get it. And I just can't imagine being in a newly created community with the people that be on the panels. I don't want to be bothered with them. And after YouTube, I watch you on YouTube. That's it. As far as community building with them, oh hell no, no. That's the behavior that people that want to really create a community, a new community, want to move away from that type of behavior. Those are the people you want to stay away from. So the race card shit, stick it up your ass. I ain't with it. Because all people that want a better environment are welcome to my community. I'm sorry. Everybody don't have the same thought, but I do not care. I do not want to live in a community with a bunch of ignorant nagas, a bunch of ignorant at all level brown people that look like me. I don't want to live in that type of community. I can't do it. And I don't want to do it. I like the diversity of American citizens. Citizens, as I say. I do like it. Yes, Kelly, the audience is beautiful. I love the audience over here because we all, are thinking, on the same level, we all are. You got those community that leave all the white people out, all the foreign. No, I'm not with that. And I can't stand it. And I just can't stand people like that. My community that I built will be a diversity because you don't understand. Our inner city hoods have become from what used to be just black and white people to many races of people that are citizens, tax-paying citizens. It's become very multicultural. We have every race in our community. And there's a few people in our community that want to pull away from the multiculturalism in our communities. And those are the ones that are mostly arrogant, that will call you a bitch, a hoe, a nigger, threaten you, want to meet you where you live, want to call your job, want to do all kinds of fucked up shit to you. That's who's talking about building a community. And I don't want to be around them. I would never want to be around them. And they're not welcome in our community. We'll make it difficult. Why would they build a community? I would make it very difficult to make them not ever want to come in our community. We'll have ordinances where we can kick them out of our communities, of our municipality, and tell them they're no longer welcome in the municipality. You can do that if you set an ordinance. You can kick out an evil, ugly Pookie and an evil, ugly Ray Ray and a white Billy Bob and out of your communities and tell them to never return. Yes, Lady Moon. And tell them to never return. You can set an ordinance for consistent disorderly behavior if you establish a new community and later on you got these goofy rebels. Okay, you can check that shit at the door with ordinances. But anyway, let's get into when it's absolutely necessary to decide as a community if you should create a new state. And this is part 2 of what we talked about before. Well, Ocean, I totally disagree with you because they can't displace us. That's an arrogant mindset. And y'all, let people in the chat, we're going to have visitors that are going to have opposing opinions. Everybody's not going to agree with Sister Bethy, but you can let them disagree. And that's fine. Like when you see comments like this, I don't want you to time them out or kick them out the chat room because these comments are welcome. I like to see the people that disagree with our ideas. You don't have to kick them out or block them or time them out. They can speak their disagreements because I allow you got to allow people to disagree with you. But when the ones that I want everyone with the wrenches. When people are in the chat room cussing or calling, me or even you bad names like the B word or just like real curse word, bad words. Those are the ones I want you to block. But a simple, denial or disagreement is fine because we got to be flexible. Everybody's not going to agree, but we can just correct them. That's all. So it's okay. It's okay. And I won't be using the word nigger in 2025. I'll be using Naga, Naga, Naga. And it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned. But I will say Naga. I cannot promise that I will not use curse words on my piano once in a while. Because Sister Bethy gets salty. Okay? And remember, our curse word is just words that were made up in the English language. Okay? It even got it in your Bible. Ass is in the Bible. So once in a while, I will get a little salty. So now, should the neglected people establish a new city, state, or municipality is the question. Because each one of them are different. A state is different, a city is different, and a municipality is different. And when is it absolutely necessary? Seriously, when is it absolutely necessary? Well, what I could say when it comes to our people, it's been necessary since the creation of states. And I know that our people back in the Martin Luther King days were not that educated to create another state or go about it, because when you have one person like Martin Luther King trying to put forth a dream, it becomes overburdensome when he's by himself with the establishment. So you don't think and you don't know that certain things that you can do, there's certain things you can do, because the problem during Martin Luther King and Malcolm X times, there was no real representation for our communities. And see, even back during that time, we had all races in our communities back then too. We had Jews in our community. They just lived in different areas. We had Latinos. They just lived in different areas, specific areas. Like if you look across the 50 states, the Latinos normally live in the south part of any state or municipality, because of their coming from the southern continents. And that's like really common across the 50 states. Here in my state, Latinos have always lived in the south of whatever it's just something of it's home for them. It reminds them of home. And that's cool. And a lot of us, when we migrated from the south, we always chose the north because we were always north of the southern continents. And I find that interesting because in all the 50 states, the Indians from the mainland always lived in the northern area of the states and municipalities. Right, Kelly? Me either. We always did. It was our choices. So when is it absolutely necessary? When to decide, should we create a state, a city, or a municipality? When the community is finally tired from years and years and years of lousy political representation and lousy local leadership. A lot of our people have been college educated, especially pastors, um, have been educated. And I don't know if um, or if it ever thought or came to their minds, because it was never mentioned by Martin Luther King in the 60s when he was running, across the states to create another state. Now I stand corrected if that was ever mentioned from him or Malcolm X or, the most notable Black leaders. If it ever crossed their minds to create another state, city, or municipality to pull away from the lousy leadership. So, and it could be very possible that it's just something that never struck their mind or something that they never thought of. Like I said, the more educated the people get going on in the different eras, the more ideas the more ideas we have to combat the sufferings of the people. Okay. And when I say the people, I'm talking about American citizens, American taxpaying citizens. There are things you can do, and it's necessary. The school educational systems for the public have always been disgusting. Always. There is not a time in history that public education has not been disgusting, because the teachers are guided by the Board of Educations on what to teach to the public tax-paying citizens, poor citizens. They've been guided on what they can teach. And there's been now, even though teachers knew more that we should have known, they were banned and fired and threatened if they taught more and beyond what the requirements of the public education system put forth for them to teach. Okay. So it takes the people to stand up and fix things like that. And it like really sucks to even try and work with the current system, because it's so designed to suck you out. Serious. That it becomes necessary to create a new state, city, or municipality. And there's things that need to be met to do that. But then, see, when you start talking, what happens, and what has always happened in the public eye, when I tell you, a lot of legislators, no matter what their race is, a lot of legislators, whether they're local, at the local state level, or municipal level, or Congress, they watch our channels not to be devious. They watch our channels, so that they could try and fix the issues in our community when it comes to creating laws. And that's a fact. A lot of them don't watch our channels to be devious towards us. They watch. And the sad part is, a lot of the congressmen, congresswomen, and state governors, senators, and representatives, legislators watch our segments and become educated. And the sad part is, their fight with the congressmen or local representatives suck, because they have, want to help, but it's our local representatives that are ugly, stupid and they don't want to look embarrassed by another senator or representative that's jurisdiction in another area or another state, because a lot of them see how much a community's state legislator or mayor or governor sucks, and they get pissed with them. So we educate them. Hey, Copper Sunset. So we'll talk about examples of that. A lot of congressmen and congresswomen, believe me, no, because see, they're more educated. A lot of them are more educated. And when they see we have a sucky ass governor and sucky ass black leaders, okay, I'm using modern day language, they're in the other congressmen and congresswomen's mind at the federal level, like, enough already. Why don't those people just create another fucking city to get away from this scumbag of a governor or scumbag of a local representative, so that they could send a real reasonable representatives up here with us in Congress? That's their attitude. Because a lot of these local state senators and reps that go to Congress to make the law are ass kissers and are looking to kiss somebody else's ass up there just to stay in their little seat in Congress. So the other congressmen and women are looking at them with a whole different attitude, like, this mother effer sucks. I don't even know why the people keep sending this crackhead up here to represent them. We need better people up here to represent the hoods. So on those notes, it's not necessary to create a municipality when it gets to the federal level and other federal congressmen and women having those ideas on what we should do as a people. Create another goddamn city to get rid of this crackhead. That's when it's necessary to create another damn city. Seriously, when shit get to the federal level, you see other congressmen saying, well, no wonder their community ain't got shit in the way it going. Look who that goddamn leader is. When you hear Congress talking like that, that's when it's necessary to create another city. Or even when they start talking about a governor for a state, when majority of congressmen and women start talking and voicing about a particular governor of a state, and your ass is stuck with them because governors don't have no set term. That's when you create another state. Because when Congress is seeing this at their level, and they can't do nothing because they're representatives of their own state, but at the congressional level, which is the federal level, and they start talking about this one particular goddamn governor, that's when it's time for the people to create another state. Let that fucking governor stay in office. Oh, dig on my salty words. Stay in office with the sucky people that want him, and you take half of the goddamn state and create another one, another damn state. When they talk, so you get it. When Congress is voicing about constantly for years and years about a particular governor of a state, that's when it's necessary to create another state. When you hear them talking about another mayor, because that's at the municipal level, that's when it's time to create another municipality. And in between that, you can decide whether, as a people, you need another city within your state, because that's a big thing too. So let's get into it and let's talk about it. And you have to understand that in the inner cities across the states, our communities have become multicultural. And they become filled with people that look like us, that aren't us, but those people have trades and they're willing to say, you know what, you're right. I'm sick of these. It could be anybody. When we have a flux of foreigners that are legally here, I'm not talking about the illegals that are legally here, and those that were born here but descend from another country, continent, or territory, they're legally here. They're citizens. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of them have trades that you need. And we're going to talk about that because it gets deep. Yeah. So let's get into it with these slides. Y'all ready? I'm going to cam off and we're going to go through these slides. I'm going to talk about stuff and I'm going to open up the panel at the end. Hopefully nobody's scared. Seems like a lot of people are scared to come on Sister Bethy's panel. So we all know about the Indian Removal Act. It was nothing but black people, and I'm using modern day language. In 1830, it was nothing but black people and white people here in the United States. I'm not talking about Canada, where a lot of the Asians are. In the United States in 1830, there was nothing but black and white people here. I mean, literally, just black and white people. All the hell that was here. Because when you start looking at Jim Crow laws, all you see is black and white people. Give me a 1 if you agree. Give me a 2 if you disagree. Because that's all that was here. And within these 50 states, black people and white people. No other race of people. Within the 50 states, it wasn't nothing but black people or white people. I'm tired of y'all with this other stuff. You know when other people came here as immigrants. So all that was here. Black people and white people. All right, let's move on. Now, in 1866, they came out with the Civil Rights Act. All people born in the United. Now, back here in 1830, let's not skip this. During the Indian Removal Act, because it was a number of black people and white people here. So you're talking about white Indians and black Indians. That's it. That's all that was here. Black people and white people. And they wanted to push the Indians west. And all the Indian tribes living east of the Mississippi. They wanted to push us out. And a lot of Indians didn't want to go. We're talking black people and white people. So everybody that didn't want to go, according to that treaty, anybody in the East who didn't want to go and get the hell off their land, we're talking black and white people, you were automatically going to become a citizen on whatever state your land was in. That's it. Now, that was 1830. And even though we said we ain't going there, we ain't going west, we staying right here on our land. And even though we stayed on the land, a lot of our people was not trying to deal with this government on that level. So then you come in 1866 with the Civil Rights Act. All people born in the United States were United States citizens. And they had these rights. Now, there's two different kinds of being indigenous to the land. Let me stop this for a minute. Two types of indigenous, apparently. Indigenous to the United States, and indigenous to the soil is two different things. If you're born in the United States, you are hereby a citizen. So people born in the United States are indigenous to the United States. Can you understand that? And have you ever thought about that? Give me a 1 if you understand that. People born in the United States, okay, you got these 50 states. This corporation that was created on the land of the original people. You are indigenous to the United States, but not indigenous to the soil. There's a difference. Please let me know. And I want to see your comments before I keep it moving, if that makes sense to you. I want to know if that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, give me a 2 and also explain it, because I'm watching the chat. I'm watching the chat because I want to see what your thoughts are on that. Or have you ever thought of that? America is huge because you got North, Central, South America, and parts of Canada. And you have the territories. So if you're born in the United States, because there's 50 states that united, you're indigenous to the United States. Now, being indigenous to the Americas is totally different. Because when you say America, you're saying North, Central, South America. That's the soil. You're indigenous to the actual land, not the company that was created. So that has got to make sense to you. So when you're fighting for rights in the United States, you're fighting a lot of indigenous people to the United States. Does that make sense to you? A lot of citizens. Here's an interesting thing. If you look at this in the United States, within the 50 states, there's a lot of babies that were born in the United States that are indigenous to the United States. Now, when people are naturalized, they're sworn in. They're not indigenous to the United States. They're tax-paying citizens, but they're not indigenous to the United States. That's wild, because there's so many ways you look at that. Because they literally came in as legal immigrants through the process. These are more important things to talk about on YouTube. I'm sorry, I just don't have the time to fight somebody calling them the B words, the N words. It's much more important stuff to drink coffee and talk with Sister Bethy about. And I also welcome your disagreeing with me, because that helps me to understand where your head is. And it's quite healthy. So now you have these people that are Indians who are indigenous to the soil, not only indigenous to the soil of the Americas, but they're indigenous to the United States too. Boom, boom, boom. Facts. I'm indigenous to the United States. Everybody in this chat room is indigenous to the United States. Fact. Facts. And being indigenous to the United States, listen now, you have rights. You do. You indigenous to the United States and you're indigenous to the soil. That's double indigenous. Now, when you're talking about, when you're dealing with, and it's two ways and multiple ways you deal with this, with your rights, fighting for your rights. Not only do you deal with it at the state level, fighting for your rights, but you have to make sure that you deal with your rights at the federal level, being indigenous to the United States. That's why central government was developed, because they knew that the individual 50 states was going to be a bunch of you know what. I won't use it. I won't say the words. So you need that federal level protection. You all right? You don't get it at the state level. You damn sure better march and get it at the federal level. That's why at the federal level, you take it to court when you want to, as a right, and you have facts. Why at the you have, and you have your case built, why it's so necessary for you to create a state or city. Why it's so necessary at the federal level. You go to the federal level and they listen. You go to the federal level and you better believe at the federal level. Let me stop this for a minute. You as being indigenous to the United States and being indigenous to the soil, you damn sure have all the proof in the world of how horrible the leadership has been towards you when it comes to your constitutional rights. I don't think that Congress will deny you a right to create another state or a city, because Congress knows your right, your horrible tracking goes all the way back to Martin Luther King and beyond him, of how a particular state government has been towards you as a people. And I'm not saying just the people that look like me. They've been like that to white people. They've been like that to Chinese people that's indigenous to the United States. All people. This is what I say. When you're talking community, you're not just talking Nagas. You're talking to every individual that pay taxes in that community. Just because you don't see everybody don't mean they ain't there. Because a lot of people, foreigners, don't bother to F with the hoods because it's so dangerous. But you better believe they're like, I want to get out of here. And the way they just stay low. And I'm not just talking about where they reside or their abode at, their homes. They have businesses. Are we talking about business people too in the community that are foreign, that have been in them communities since you've been a little kid? Like, we got a Chinese restaurant in our community, and that man that's in there was with his parents cooking when I was like 15 years old. This Chinese restaurant has been in our hood, and they know me by my first name, and I love them for real. They've been in my hood since I was little because me and the dude is the same age. And he was a young guy working in there, cooking with his family. Now he's a grown man in his 50s like me, and he took over his father's business. And we still see each other. I'm talking about them that be like, and they've been dealing with the shit that go on in the hoods. There's Chinese shops stay open till like 2 a.m. And they hear the gunshots in our hoods when they're in their restaurants. They've been hearing that shit for years. They're more closer to it than you are because you at home in your safe home in the hood. But Chinese restaurant is in the hood hearing the gunshots from this end of the street to that end of the street. Don't tell me that we don't have backup proof when you look at the community and not look at color to go to Congress and say, yo, we need another city because this current mayor, the local mayor, the damn governor, they're not doing nothing. My business has been in this hood for 50 damn years and nothing's changed. Those business owners, trust me, those business owners, foreign business owners, you can't be against the foreign businesses in your community because that's how they make money so they can take care of their damn families. But those business owners in the community, they'll be very happy to sit in a meeting and say, let's pull out of this shit because this governor ain't doing nothing but kissing people's butts to be in his position. The governor and the mayor's not looking out for our best interests. They don't give a rat shit. This governor is obviously kissing the butts of the 1%. So let's pull away from this governor and get another state and elect our own governor and have our own municipalities and let their asses stay in the hood. We gone because they no longer have jurisdiction over us. This is what I'm talking about. When you look at the community, our community, you can't leave out the other cultures of people that is tired of the same shit as you. A lot of them, foreigners, don't bother to make the first move and say, yo, let's make another state because they're in fear. A lot of business owners, they're in fear. They waiting for Pookie's mama and grandma to step up to these niggas because Pookie and them ain't. They ain't gonna stand up. It gotta be us. Say, all right, I'm out. Let's go, y'all. Let's take all the businesses in the hood with us and start all over again and let these suckers stay here. Oh, I'm not playing today. You got to look at your community a whole different way. Hey, Harlem lover, you got to look at community. When you're talking community, we not just, I do not want to move. It makes no sense, and it would be a waste of time to take a whole bunch of Pookies with me and create another state, municipality, or city. Hell no. That's who we're trying to get away from because we can't control Betty Jean's wild-ass kids, and I'm not going to try to because they already told you that they're not going to stop selling drugs. And it's their territory, and they coming up on my turf selling drugs. Fuck them. Let them have their territories in the hood. Dip with the businesses that want to go to. Because the businesses in the community want peace too. You got to look at the diversity of the businesses in your community. So let's keep going. So the indigenous people to the United States, okay, are the people born in the United States. They're indigenous to the United States because they're born here. They weren't born on the lands of their ancestors, but they damn sure was born in the 50 states, and they're indigenous to the 50 states, and they're paying taxes in the 50 states. So the indigenous people of the soil and of the 50 states, because not only are the people, my people, okay, I'll just speak for myself and everybody else, Not only are my people indigenous to the soil, mainland soil of the United States, I'm indigenous to the damn 50 states too. So I'm double indigenous. But my people that want positive change can't leave out the indigenous people born in the 50 states that want to do something positive. I'm willing to work with them. That's called community action. Oh, y'all ain't see this side of Sister Bethy with the political stuff. Oh, more is to come. We got to keep it a buck. And that's fine too, OJ Green. See, this is who we need to leave. And don't delete him, y'all. Or her. Could be a woman too. Because a lot of them be coming in here as acting as men. I don't want you. Sorry. I don't like the same sex. Be gone. Leave these kind of comments in there. They're healthy. We need it. And you're absolutely right. You can call me a white woman if you want. That's fine. You call me a white woman. I've been called that a lot in my life. Oh, you act like a white woman. Okay, that's fine, honey. So let me just do this. That's fine. Leave these kind of comments in there because they're healthy. Because you are absolutely right in your comments when I say, I don't want to work with no arrogant. You left out the word arrogant when you wrote Indians. You should revise your comment and put that in there. I ain't got time for no arrogant Naga Indians. No, I don't. So guess what? I'm going to be the white lady today. How you like me now? So now you know where I'm coming from. At least you do. So go tell the others because I don't care. I'm not here to be in love with you. I'm not. I'm here to speak my facts. And I'll do exactly what you said, Copper. School them. Yes. Because people like this are still in YouTube, still trying to learn how to get along, and they can't grip it. So deuces for them. So don't delete their comments like that, because I want them to disagree with me. It's healthy. So they'll know I don't want to deal with them, and I'm promoting a much more positive community, and how we can't just look at our communities as just a bunch of me's and you's. I know, Kelly, I'm tired too. So let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving with the slides. So now we know that who the community is. All people born in the United States. And our rights. There's our rights. And we must exercise them together as United States citizens who are indigenous to this damn land. You indigenous to the United States. If you a citizen born in the United States, you're indigenous. Let's get it. Because I don't care about nobody else. These are my lectures. And it shows you what bad behavior went on. We ain't even in this day no more. Support Congress and you support the Negro. This is how you know that it's just black and white people here. Sustain the president and you protect the white man. See, all we talking about is black and white during those times. But we're not even there any damn more. So I am no longer in 2025 going back into a time that my ass was not born. Yeah, we still got people with this attitude around, but these are the ones that we don't welcome in our new communities when we create them. That's all. These days are gone. I'm not reading no more old ass shit from the slavery days. We're in another era. And this is why so many people in our community can't move forward, because their goddamn brain cells are still stuck in 18. I don't even know what year this is. So these are Indians. You call them Africans because they freedmen. There's nothing down here that stipulates or state, and I'm going to keep telling you this, that these people in the 1930s are Africans, because they're not. They are who they say they are. Choctaw. They're not, oh, those are Africans. No, they're Choctaws. No sense for them to be lining up at the Dawes Commission for enrollment. Freedmen camped at Fort Gibson before enrollment with the Dawes Commission. They're rolling who they are. They're who they are. Choctaws enrolling in the Dawes Commission. They didn't have good representation. Our poor ancestors, man. They didn't have the education and right type of representation. All they know is they was going to enroll themselves as who they were. They were Choctaws. But you got these misleaders running around in YouTube that we're moving away from and going in other cities with. These are Choctaws, Chickasaws, all that. Chickasaws, freedmen, filling on allotments here at the top. Choctaw, Chickasaw. That's who they are. That's who they were before you called them black. You're looking at, you want to see a Choctaw? You're looking at a Choctaw. You want to see a Chickasaw? You're looking at the Chickasaw. They didn't have nobody to properly represent them. Now you got these Pan-Africans coming to try to tell your story. They didn't know. A lot of them couldn't read. But that's okay. These same people's grandkids is running around here in YouTube right now. And the positive ones are saying, okay, we're much more educated now, much more educated now than our ancestors were back then. They had reading disabilities, reading and comprehension disabilities. Okay. This is in 1914. A lot of our ancestors had bad reading disabilities because they was forced to work. They really couldn't go to school and learn like that. So now in 2025, I mean, come on, how many years has it been since 1914, which is the date of these photos? I'm talking real stuff now. I ain't got time for all the other stuff they talk about on YouTube. Let me see, 2025 minus 1914. It's 100 years later, 111 years later. And I'm the grandchild of these very people. Might not be a grandchild of Chickasaw or Choctaw, but a lot of us are. It's 100 years, 11 years later. And we're now more educated and more civil-minded. Some of us. You know the ones that are not civil-minded because of the way they act on YouTube. But we still stand here as the same people that you see in this picture. These are our ancestors. So we're now 111 years later. Where we're using a little bit more percentage, a lot more percentage of our brain to get things fixed civilly at local, state, and federal levels by way of our civil rights. We're much more educated now to stand and represent ourselves better than our grandparents here in the picture. We have a better fight and a much more better chance to win because we look now at our community not as just our 16 children on a farm, but those indigenous citizens to the United States that have businesses in our community, that own homes in our community and the outskirts of the hoods. We can better communicate with them. And we have a better fight of winning because our rights have been violated since this time. And we can fix it as indigenous citizens in the United States through the judicial process. I'm sick of governors and mayors that look like us and those that are Latino put on a damn suit. And then when you start seeing them, you know when they're watching you, because then they really start jumping out, trying to act like they're doing something for the community. When you start talking about pulling away from a particular city or state or local municipality, hear that governor or mayor or municipal council leader come out in the damn news. This is the shit that happened when you start talking publicly about what you're considering doing. And you know what? I'm telling you not to give them any more chances. Do you not think 111 years is enough chances? Give me a 1 if they don't need no more chances. And to keep moving forward with the plan of moving away from them and their system that continues the same leadership, same people, same faces. We don't need to give them more chances, and that's our problem. We keep giving them chances. And then they'll come out and do a quick little 5-minute video thinking that, okay, the residents and the citizens agree with me. No, not all of us, because we're tired of your shit. You're doing the same thing you've been doing for 111 years. It's time to move away and put the actual people we want to represent us at the local, state, and federal levels. We move away and pick our leaders. Okay, you go up to Washington to represent us. We're going to continue paying our taxes, generating revenue for the local municipality and the state, the new state we create as a people. That's the way it goes. Now, let me show you the shit that happens when local municipalities, state, and federal level leaders do when they catch your shit and they know they're waking up. They're woke Gen X, that goddamn Gen X, Generation X era. They really understand their constitutional rights now. Because back then, if they did, they would have been created more municipalities and towns. But today is that damn day. Now let's look at what happens when you start talking about pulling away and creating a city just like the white folks did in Louisiana. Oh man, I'm so proud of them. Them white folks for doing that shit. Because white folks want to get their kids away from the bullshit. I do too. And I'm going to follow their lead. They set an example for everybody. So let's look at this video. Let's look at the shit that happens when you start talking about moving away from and creating another city, a town, a municipality. Look what happens. Let's get it. Hang on, y'all. Let me do a share screen. This is the shit that happens, and this is the shit because they ignored you for 111 years. Now you get to ignore their asses for 111 years. Let me see entire screen. I think I'm doing this right. Let's get it. I need to make it bigger. Fair use. Let me see. I gotta start over. Oh, come on. All right. Let's get it. I want to actually get it. Wait a minute. All right. Let's get to the real part of it. All right. Here we go. I want to make this bigger. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. You know what? Oh, I am so sorry that there was no sound. Let me redo it. I'm so sorry. Damn. Let me see. Let me get. Let me stop sharing. Let me get the sound on. Oh man. Let me try it again, my loves. That's okay. Ain't got nothing to do. The audio is on. Okay, it's on. All right. Let me try it now. Let's see if this works. All right. Let me try it one by one. Share screen. All right. Let me know if it's on. I'm gonna play a little bit of it.
Hartford, Cape Hattie.
Can y'all hear it now?
61, Connecticut's news station.
Can you hear it now? Okay, good. So let me play this. I'm gonna play something else. Hang on. Let me see if we can get the original video. Oh. I want to get this up. If y'all could see this. All right. I want to know if you guys can hear this.
Problem landlords as part of an effort to improve housing in
Can
the
you
city.
hear it?
He named 4 that have received multiple violations for poor living conditions. News 8's Jane Chaco is live outside City Hall with more on that announcement.
Can y'all hear that? Okay, good. All right, listen to this. There's a couple I want to show you with the same incident. All right, let's go.
Jane.
And Hartford's mayor had a clear message today. He said these landlords will be pushed out of the city if they don't address these concerns. 4 landlords have been identified by the city as problem landlords after failing to address tenant concerns and maintain safe housing conditions.
It's really important that individuals who are causing harm in our city face account for that harm.
Those landlords are Pax Properties, which lists Aaron Puertz of New Jersey as the principal, Moshe Grosbard of New York, who owns 10 LLCs according to the city, and Whitehead Estates LLC, owned by Lamar Whitehead of New Jersey. The mayor also said 4 principals of the Gray Hill Group will be referred to the state's attorney's office for prosecution. This comes after the mayor says Gray Hill failed to make repairs on the Concord Hills apartments after a fire displaced about 100 people 4 months ago.
We're not afraid of you. We are not intimidated by you. And we will stand up here in the city of Hartford. We stand up for our residents.
Identifying the principals of each company is part of the mayor's housing initiative to hold landlords accountable. He says tenants have complained about mold, rodent infestations, leaks, and lack of heat in units under the top 3 problem landlords.
If you don't shape up, we are going to drive you out of the city. We're going to make it hard for you to do business. And when you put profits over people, we're going to make sure those profits dry up and that you've faced violations and fines. And you'll find Hartford to be an unhospitable place for you.
And the city says a lot of these buildings have been foreclosed or transferred to a better landlord. And we reached out to these 4 companies to respond to the comments made today and have not yet heard back. Live in Hartford, Jane Chaco, News.
Okay, now oops. I want you to hear another video. Hang on, you guys. The one that he said before. Let me pull that up. The one that I want. Okay, is this it? Yeah, NBC one. This is the one. Hang on. There's a couple I want you to watch in this instant. They have so many versions of it. All right, here we go, my loves. Here we go. I hope you can hear it.
Putting problem landlords on notice in Hartford. Today, the mayor revealed a list of landlords he says violated the city's housing code multiple times. It includes one looking to get prosecuted for dragging their feet on repairs. NBC Connecticut's Jeremy Chen is live in Hartford with more on what the tenant had to say. Jeremy.
Yeah, Mike, all of these landlords are from out of the state, including Gray Hill Group, which owns the Concord Hills apartments right behind me here in Hartford. And one tenant tells me this is the move they wanted to see from the mayor.
We just want this to be over. It's been a long 4 months.
Marisol Navarro is tired of uncertainty of where she will live next month. She's one of about 30 households still in temporary housing after a fire in August at the Concord Hills apartments in Hartford. Navarro and other tenants have been frustrated with their landlord, Gray Hill Group, for delays in repairs.
We got the power!
To the point they protested in front of their offices in New York City last week. They've also pushed Mayor Arunan Arulampalam to take forceful action against the landlord.
The city makes Gray Hill accountable, make them fix the apartments so we can return and go back to our happy place.
On Monday, Mayor Arulampalam announced the city would seek criminal charges against Gray Hill Group through the state's attorney's office, saying it violated the city's housing ordinances.
There will be consequences, there will be accountability, and we will hold you to account.
The mayor also revealed a list of 3 out-of-state landlords he says have not been taking care of the buildings or tenants. They include Pax Properties, which is owned by Aaron Puertz of New York. The city says multiple Pax properties had to be vacated due to unsafe conditions, with 13 buildings in foreclosure and or receivership. The city also says landlord Moshe Grossbard of New York had notices for violating building codes with liens on multiple properties for unpaid fines. Finally, Whitehead Estates LLC, owned by Bishop Lamar Whitehead of New Jersey, had 24 units condemned by the city for no heat or water. Whitehead is currently serving a 9-year prison sentence after being convicted on fraud charges.
If you don't shape up, we are going to drive you out of the city. We're going to make it hard for you to do business.
Navarro says it sends a clear message that enough is enough when it comes to treating tenants right.
Landlords in the state of Connecticut need to know that they cannot play with people's lives.
And the mayor also says that Gray Hill Group threatened to sue him over comments he made in his personal capacity regarding the dispute over repairs being made here at the Concord Hills apartments. We did reach out to the attorney representing Gray Hill Group, but we did not hear back by deadline. Live in Hartford, Jeremy Chen, NBC.
Okay. Now there's one more, my loves, that I want you to see. That one that I was trying to show you earlier. Let me see if that's not the one. Yeah, this is the one I wanted you to see. This is the one. Okay. So, hang on. Here we go. All right. This is the one that I wanted you to see in the beginning when you couldn't hear. Whoops. StreamYard keep changing the way they doing things. All right, audio's on. Now we can hear the original one that I wanted you to hear.
Some good news for tenants in Hartford. Mayor Arunin says he's
Can y'all hear
down
this?
on problem landlords. He's even going as far as recommending one face criminal charges. I spoke to some tenants today who say, well, this is a step in the right direction. Some say more can be done.
This could have been avoided 3.5 months ago. Back when we met at the end of August, I pointed out everything that was going on along with Connecticut Tenants Union leaders.
On Monday, Mayor Arunin Arulampalamp announced he is seeking criminal charges against the Gray Hill Group. This group owns the Concord Hills apartments where tenants like Dave Richardson have been displaced for 5 months because of an electrical fire.
Irresponsible landlords that lead to displaced tenants have led to an epidemic of homelessness in cities like Hartford.
Sarah White with Connecticut Fair Housing Center is nervous that some of the Concord Hills tenants may end up homeless on January 10th due to the negligence of Gray Hill.
As we've seen from the beginning, this landlord didn't really have any financial incentive to make the repairs to get tenants back in because, of course, they could charge so much more with new tenants.
Which is why the city has this message to landlords that are putting profit over people.
To the worst landlords out there, we want to say, if you don't shape up, we are going to drive you out of the city. We're going to make it hard for you to do business.
Mayor Arunin named the landlords in LLCs on Monday. Aaron Puritz Pax Properties, which received more than 50 notices of violations and owns 24 buildings across Hartford. Moshe Grossbard owns 31 buildings and 15 are in violation. And Lamar Whitehead, who owns Whitehead Estates.
Whitehead is currently serving a 9-year prison sentence in the New Jersey federal system after being convicted on multiple counts of fraud. We've condemned 24 of his units due to a lack of heat or hot water.
After all of this, Sarah White wants to see the tenant liaison position filled in the city.
That is supposed to give tenants a voice in the city to look out for the interests of tenants, was funded in the 2024 budget, but as of yet still has not been filled.
Dave Richardson says this announcement should have been made sooner.
And he feels that the city has been dragging its feet throughout this whole process. In Hartford, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right. So now we're back. So things like this happen when we voice things about, moving. But that one incident, that doesn't happen all the time in our community. Believe me, they're watching what we want to do. And they're watching what the folks in Louisiana did. They did a whole chess move, the white folks in Louisiana. And I'm gonna keep saying shout out to them. I'm serious. I actually am gonna give them white folks in Louisiana a damn bomb drop for what they did. I swear they deserve the bomb drop. Louisiana white folks that created another city. Here's your bomb drop. I'm serious. So that's where this is where I am. And you got to understand, if you saw the people in the community, a lot of those people that were sitting at that table, there are different races. You see, when we say hood, we only just think about the black folks. No, there's a lot of races in the hood, and a lot of them are afraid to stand up. So it takes somebody strong like me who got a nephew named Pookie, or a nephew named Ray Ray, or a daughter named Shakrisha that's fighting in these hoods. It's going to take us to stand up, because these foreign people that's like live in our communities, they be from India and China. Their kids ain't hanging around the fucking hood acting crazy. It's our people. So we got to move away. It's called tough love. Oh, hell no. Bye. Leave. And just that one incident is not going to stop my aggression towards advising the people in the cities across the state. Pull out. Create another state or another city or another municipality and leave that mayor, that governor in those states. Leave their asses there. So let's get back to it. Like I said, these are Choctaws. These are not African slaves. They didn't have nobody to represent them at the federal level to exercise their rights in a proper manner and not understand. They didn't understand shit about not being called Choctaws. They knew they were Choctaws. They didn't know shit about going on the Dawes Roads, like not going to be identified as the Choctaw people of who they really are. The people who established those new tribes, Choctaw, Chickasaw, okay, put them as what they wanted. They told them you ain't getting no blood quantum. It had been all full bloods. So representation. They put their standards and limitations on these Choctaws. So it's up to us. It's 111 years later. And we can fix that. It's an easy fix. Let's go. Some more photos. And you see the guy sitting up there. It looked like a Photoshop, but whatever. The Dawes Commission enrolling freedmen. Interesting. Oh, but they're going to put you down as a damn degenerate slave. And not ask, yeah, that's fine, but you're still a goddamn Choctaw or a Chickasaw. The hell you going to take that away from? You're dark. You're darky. We're not dealing with the darkies being Choctaws. But I bet you his ass sitting up there became the actual Choctaw, because that's exactly what they did. Look at who's running them. But that's an easy fix. No, nothing to squirm about. You're Choctaw, you're Choctaw. Just like that judge said. She was a slave, but she's Choctaw. That ruling, I'll never forget that ruling. I'm going to pull that up later in the year. That federal judge, yeah, she is a slave, but she's Choctaw. Boom. I swear that deserves another bomb drop. Yeah, she was a slave, but she's still Choctaw. That's what the judge said. That was a ruling. Here we go. Creek. Yeah, he was a slave, but he's still Creek. He was a slave, but guess what? He's still Creek. A freed Creek. It's 111 years later. Gen X, in effect, we're properly representing our ancestors from 111 years ago. Because they had no one to say, well, did you know that they made you not a Creek? They're dead now. But we're still here. We're their grandchildren. They just kept you as a slave on the census, but you're a Creek slave. You're still a Creek. They ain't know what the hell was going on when it came to their identity, but we here, we still alive. We can fix it. Today we have better representation and more of us are educated. We're not born in them days, and we damn sure don't have to relive them. Chickasaw. Carly William Hall. Freed woman. She a Chickasaw. She's free. She was a slave under Chickasaws, but she was a Chickasaw. She's still a Chickasaw. She's gonna die a Chickasaw. Why? But her grandkids are still here. Hello? No representation back then versus representation today. As we stand up and say, we are Chickasaws. We're still here. Adam Grayson, he was a Creek. Yeah, he slaved on the plantation. But that don't change the fact that Adam Grayson is still a goddamn Creek. Why? Because his grandson and his granddaughter is here to live to tell it. We're representing Gen X. This is more important than fighting with other Nagas on other panels. This is important. My grandpa on my census, on my damn family tree, he's Creek. So that makes me Creek. I'm here to live. He dead, but I'm here to live 100 years later to tell you. Oh, Bowleg Caesar. He's a Seminole. How the hell you know he is Seminole? Because I'm his granddaughter. And I'm here to tell you 100 years later, my grandma, Caesar Bowlegs, is Seminole, and I'm Seminole. I'm here because I live to tell you, you respect it. I don't care if you reject it, but you're going to respect it. They didn't have the voices back then in education and knowledge that we have today. So we're here to live to tell it, and we have every right to do it. Claude Hall. He's a Chickasaw. Maybe he's her son or Carrie's husband, or he could be her son. He look a little young to be, I don't know. He look a little young to be her husband. But Claude Hall is my grandpa. 100 years later, you didn't respect him as that. You just made him an old freed man. Like he wasn't who he was on the census sheet. But I'm alive. I'm telling you, my granddaddy's a Chickasaw. And I'm here to tell you, I'm representing because he didn't have nobody represented back then. Respect it. You can reject it, but you damn sure going to respect it. If I got to respect who you are, you're going to respect who I am. Sorry, These are the Indians of the land. Now, these are the Indians that are, like I tell you, and you're the grandkids of them. There's many tribes, but you're the grandkids. So you're indigenous to the soil. How the Pequot's going to be indigenous to the soil and you're not? That's why I love the Pequots. These are the Southern Indians. These are not the Northern Indians. So this is what I'm talking about when there's two types of indigenous. We are indigenous to the soil of the mainland and indigenous in the company created on our land, the 50 states. We're indigenous to that too because we were born in them. So we're double indigenous. You feel me? Give me the fire. So now you know the indigenous people to the soil, and because they were automatically made citizens in 1830, they're indigenous to the United States because a lot of our ancestors, they were born in 1915. So they're indigenous to the soil as Chickasaws, and they're indigenous to the United States because they're United States citizens. They were born in the 50 states. These are the people you can't deport to Africa because they're not Africa. They're indigenous to the sand. You can deport them from being part of the United States as citizens, but they stay on the land because they're Chickasaws. Oh, do not play with me. Not today. Chickasaw riding around his car. Okay. Creek, school for the Muskegees, indigenous people to the soil, mainland, and to the beautiful United States. They're citizens, legal citizens, because they were born on the land legally. They were already on the damn soil. Oh, I'm not playing. So all the people that are foreigners that were born in the United States illegally, they're indigenous to the United States, to the 50 states, the system in the 50 states. They weren't born on their ancestors' lands. They were born on the land of the soil, on the land within the United States, the company. They were born in this company. So now you get the drift. And there's a lot of legal business owners that own businesses who are citizens, who are indigenous to the 50 states, who have business because they're tax revenue generating citizens. They pay taxes. So when you're talking community, they are the community in the 50 states. They are part of your community. And I'm the ones I want to snatch out and go and start another damn city state. So that because not only do these sorry ass leaders lack of representation hurt these citizens, it hurts the business owners too. You take them with you too. They don't want to stay with these goofballs. Money. This is something that I have not studied when it came to money. I am so uneducated on this part. Like I said, I don't know everything. You have to study things and research on them in order to educate yourself about them. And you got to be careful who you listen to regarding this with the money stuff, because when before the creation of the United States, there was no money, fiat. There was no money made. Willie was trying to explain it to me because he's like real educated in this stuff. When it comes to, okay, it was transferred to gold and it was backed by gold. That stuff, Sister Bethy's dumb in. And I'm going to get somebody on the panel one day to teach me about this gold money being backed by gold. But our ancestors, that's how they really lost, because they didn't have no damn money. Their trading and way of doing business was trading food with like the southern continents, the north and the south, trading fruits and vegetables and stuff. That's what our ancestors were familiar with. And a reason why a lot of them lost their homes is because they didn't have no money. They just knew about transferring food and stuff. So I want to get, I'm telling you, Sister Bethany don't know everything. I really want to get somebody on my panel. I'm going to search throughout YouTube that could teach me more about how they transitioned from trading food within among themselves, food, fruits, vegetables, clothes, and stuff, to how the whole money thing came into play. I never studied that because I was studying other political stuff. And I'm going to get somebody up here who's really educated. Okay, so it can make sense to me. Oh, it's backed by gold. Oh, we're in debt because they keep making more money. All that kind of stuff. That's a whole another different kind of bill of how the hell did money get here? And it became so valuable to everybody. Everybody need $5. But how that get here from how we used to do business? I'm not educated on that. And there are some real experts out there who could say, okay, well, this is how the money came about. I'm dumb in that. So I ain't even going to go there. Not today. I'm going to get some help on that because I don't know everything. I'm a genealogist. Like this whole thing, like you learn that white people was on the freedmen bureau too. It wasn't just the Indians on the freedmen bureaus. By then, they had already changed your identity. You was no longer a Chickasaw on the Creek when you was on the freedmen bureau. You were just a Negro, whatever, a colored. When they were free, how was you a Chickasaw before? How are you not still a Chickasaw when you go on the Freedmen's Bureau? See what happened, y'all? Y'all see that? The people I show you, they were Chickasaws, Choctaws, Cherokees. But then they get on the Freedmen's Bureau, they're no longer the Chickasaws and Creeks and none of that. They still are the same. They just didn't have bad representation. But white people was on the Freedmen's Bureau too. Oh yeah, they were. Because you got to remember, on the land, farmlands, a lot of our people who didn't have farms, they worked on white people's farms. And it's just like going to Walmart, getting a job, and you got a white manager that don't own no damn land, but he's just a manager of the land, of the cotton picking land. And just like back then, you had bad managers. You got them today too. Managers, supervisors. Willie was telling me, yo, babe, the way it go, babe, back then, the people who owned the most land had the most power. And I didn't think about this. And so there's still a lot to learn. But I'm damn sure going to get somebody up here to teach about that money, to make me understand it better. Because my studies have not been in fiat. Maybe I'll get Glennis in here. So that comes to the question of, should people create more states, more cities, municipalities, or territories? The admission clause. This is what gives you citizens, you indigenous citizens in the United States, the power to create a state. Because it's still in effect. It's still in the statute. New states may be admitted by Congress into this union, But no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the junction of two or more states or parts of a state without the consent of the legislators of the states concerned, as well as of the Congress. So it's still, in effect, you can still create a state. That's what gives you indigenous citizens to the United States that right. And that's a protected right. That's a monumental right that you have. See, our Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's, they wasn't on this. That's because it wasn't, in their head. But today, we read better, we comprehend better than our ancestors did 111 years ago. So this is called promoting positive action in the community. And like I said, the Baton Rouge, Louisiana residents, wealthy white residents, and they people who have regular jobs. So anybody that don't got no damn job and that's living in the poorest condition would damn sure consider somebody to have a regular blue collar job like myself as wealthy people. So wealthy white residents of Baton Rouge, Louisiana created their own municipality, the city of St. George, to separate from the majority black city. I don't blame them. I'm serious. The Louisiana Supreme Court ruled in favor of the incorporation of St. George in April 2024, ending a years-long debate. The move has raised concern about segregation. So what? And the potential for more segregated schools and fewer resources for Black, Hispanic, and low-income students. Oh, well, get up off your ass. You're mad because the white people are leaving? Oh, well. Get your shit right. You mad because the white people leaving? I don't blame them. They have a right to. They're exercising their U.S. constitutional right to do so. And they took all the measures to do it and get it popping. That's what you call a community that stuck together to make this shit happen. Until you Nagas learn how to do this, you're still going to be complaining. Talk to your pastor, because his ass supposed to be keeping the community together instead of allowing them to kill each other. You got so much faith. Talk to your pastor. Let the white people leave. They exercise their constitutional right. And I don't freaking blame them. Because people that's in this community are from that state that act so terrible on YouTube. I would want to leave too and separate from you too. That's what I want to do. The movement to create St. George began when residents wanted their own school system. I don't blame them, but lawmakers wouldn't support it. Organizers believed they would have more political support as a city rather than as a group of residents. And that's a fact. Some residents support the move, including David Madafari, a father of 3 school-age children. Others, like NPR's Abri Jahaz, worry that breakaway districts will lead to more segregated schools and fewer resources. Oh, well, get up off your ass and represent right. So the admission clause, as we just read, is still in effect. If you don't fight on YouTube, you can get this popping. But I don't even want to deal with the brothers that threaten themselves on YouTube. Let me meet you up where your house at. What's your address? I don't want to live in no community with them. I'm in my 50s. And there's a lot of people in their 50s late 40s, last year in their 40s, that still act like that. Those are the people that we don't want to be associated with. You can't fix a new dog. You can't teach them new tricks. And I really believe that. If they act like that now and they're in their 50s, they ain't going to change. Since on that note, pick up and leave away from them. This way, they can't say you did nothing to them. All you did was pick up and got away from them and left them in their own little areas to do what they say they're going to do to each other. So I'm going to stop it right here, and we'll continue this tomorrow when I get off work, of course, y'all. We're going to start right here on slide 18. Stop, because I, don't want to make my segments long. It's in 1 minute, in less than 20 seconds, it's going to be exactly 2 hours. And I want to finish this tomorrow, taking my time. So I'll open a panel. And if nobody doesn't pop up, and I only want you to focus on what we've talked about today. Please, if you're going to bring up something that is not related to this topic, I ask not even bother to join the panel. Only what we talked about from this point up. Because tomorrow we're going to get into the real funky stuff after I get off work. All right. So I'm going to open the panel. If you don't want to come on, I understand. And that's perfectly fine with me. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. But there's the link. I will wait 3 minutes for y'all to come up on this panel. I'll wait. All right. So, okay, good. Nobody has questions. That means everybody understood. And 2 hours is enough for people to catch the rewatch, because I'm going to come live tomorrow after I get off work and get into the real. And, we ended at a perfect time, because what we get into tomorrow is the creations of states, municipalities, or a city, a whole nother damn city. And you have these rights as indigenous citizens of the United States, because you were born in the United States. And there are a lot of things that we don't exercise as a people. And you have to understand that people have been creating municipalities for a long time. You just didn't know how to do it. You weren't taught. And a lot of our people have not exercised these rights. So tomorrow we'll get into the good stuff. And the one thing about me that I know that I'm a pro in is community organizing. I've always been very good at reaching the communities across the states and within my own state. I personally do not want to create a city, a state, or a municipality in my own state of birth, Connecticut. No interest. I like the southern states. I like the southern lifestyle. Southern lifestyle, it's always beautiful to me. I want to go south when I retire. I don't want to be here. I don't. Oh, thanks, Catawba Cam TD. Tomorrow, let's see. I think maybe because I'm going to need some rest when I get off of work. I start work very early. I'm at my desk at 6:30 in the morning, guys. And I literally leave. Sometimes I'm there at 6 drinking my coffee. I leave my desk area, my workstation desk area at 2:30, because by that time I'm tired. Because remember, if I'm sitting there at 6 and 6:30, that means I got up at like 4:35 to get myself ready and prepared for the day. So by the time I clock out at 2:30, I'm tired and I'm going to need a little break. So that's why I go live about 4, because I'm totally off work. I don't answer my phone or answer my emails or texts until I get off work at 2:30. So tomorrow I will go live and we'll get into the real fun stuff. Okay, we went through the history today. Tomorrow we'll get into the get off your butt. Start doing the civil stuff. And you know what? Community organizing is fun, because when you do community organizing, you learn so many people in our community have the same mindset and thoughts as you, especially when you start meeting with the business owners. There's so many business owners in our communities, and their stores are run down because they don't get the proper help to fix things in their restaurants or their businesses. And their stores are run down and shabby looking. The disrespect from the community, writing graffiti on their business signs and doors, taking a piss in front of their restaurants and businesses, throwing paper, garbage down in front of their businesses. As they walk by, they'll go in the store, a little bodega, and buy a bag of chips and a soda. And then when they finish eating it, they drop it right on the ground where they're walking. So and that's what brings down the environment, the physical part of our environments, because people don't care. They have bad house manners. They have bad upcoming. They're not taught not to litter outside. They don't care about the community. As long as they throw it out their car window. They throw paper after they finish eating, they throw it out the window because they don't care. They care more about their car. No, I ain't throwing it down on the ground in my car. Instead of pulling over to the hundreds of garbage cans on the street and putting it in a garbage can. That just shows bad house raising, bad manners. Me, I clean up after I cook. If you dirty something, clean it. Pig. Pick up. People don't pick up after yourself. So you want to when you get away from all that type of behavior, because you can't control other people's kids. You can't. You move into a better community and you take the businesses with you. Because now the business owners happy when you understand your community is who it is in your community. It doesn't fucking matter if they're a foreigner, but they got a business in the community and they can't control people from throwing shit on the ground, hanging in front of their stores by drug dealers who claim the territory spot. So you move the fuck away from them. So you take the businesses in your community with you. Hey, Superman. Hit the link, Superman, so you can come and give your sermon. That's my buddy. Here's the link, Superman. I want him to give the sermon and the offering. Come on up, Superman, for a hot minute. I'm getting ready to log off anyway. But like I was saying, you take the businesses with you. And those business owners, when they see the idea of creating another beautiful city, town, or municipality, and they know their business is going to move in that new area, they're going to have a fresh start with really great working facilities. Because remember, when you take the people in the community with you that's sick of the inner city bullshit, and you create another town, municipality, it's a lot of work you got to do as the organizer. And this is, to me, the fun part. Going to all those people, because all the people you taking with you are not deadbeats. They are people with state licensing in trades. You already got the people that have the professional skill. You literally have to, and you ain't got to pay nobody, no construction company, to build on the damn land, because all the people you're taking with you are decent, working, tax-paying citizens. They already know how to build a house from the ground. They already know how to build a building from the ground. These are the people you're taking out of the community and bringing into a new community. And then you're picking somebody to send to Congress for you. Everybody you pull out the community with you. You got electricians, you got plumbers, you have all these people that could already build in the community. Because you're worrying about, damn, how are we going to get new places built in the community, new homes, new businesses. They're the damn people you're taking. The indentured servants that get paid for doing their trades. You're taking them with you. That's your community. They already know how to build buildings in 2 minutes. Nice ones, decent. And that gives the business owners that you took with you, say, yes, I have a really nice eat-in restaurant now. It's going to look like the suburbs. That's how you do it. You get away from the pigs and you leave them in the inner city. Okay, I'll wait. I'll hurry your butt up because I want to get out of here. So part 2, we're going to dive in real deep on that. So you want to be here to hear part 2 tomorrow. I'm going to go live tomorrow about 4 o'clock because I need rest from 2:30. Okay, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Because in between that time, I can make my dinner. I don't like to eat after 6 o'clock. So tomorrow is really going to be fun. And Superman is just the person. Oh my God, Superman. You got to come on the panel because this dude is a builder. So I'll wait for Superman, y'all. Let's get a little music because he got a little something. Come on up, Superman. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna play a little music till Super get on the panel. There he is. Hey, Super.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Why you
morning.
putting me on the spot, Sister Betty? I was just listening in.
I know, but I want y'all. Superman always be on Smoke Channel. He's the third shifter. You know, he keep us going.
Yeah, I just got out of work. I ain't ready to put in no sermon right now, but I do it for the Lord.
Yep. So, hey, y'all, Superman. We community building. So Superman is calling out to the altar. Go ahead, Superman. We go ahead. Tell them to come to the. Go ahead. Ask somebody ready to give that. Can't nobody do it like Superman. You got it, Super. I'm trying to hold my laughing.
You can't make me laugh before I do it.
I'm trying to hold my laughing. Go ahead. Okay, I turned my camera off. You got it. Copper Aborigines in the chat. You might want to address him with it.
Okay. Sister Betty, the Lord's work is never done. It's okay. I'll get it together. Sister Betty called me to the top, to the altar to let me give the word, and I'm not prepared, but the Lord will put something on your heart in the time that you need Him to. Anybody in the house that needs prayer at this time, come on down to the altar. The doors of the church is always open.
Anybody lay all their burdens down, Super?
It's Sunday. Y'all don't have to carry them burdens around anymore. Just lay them down. Jesus will fix it.
He said, let the Spirit speak through you. Okay. All right. No. But Super is a prime example of what I'm talking about when it comes to, hey, Roz, when it comes to the community organizing part, which is in part 2 of learning how to create the state, municipality, and city. Now, when it comes to community organizing, I'm going directly to Superman and say, Super, you know, we stick to this current government and local government. They're not representing us. They're just filling their own pockets. We need better representation. The shit's been going on for 111 years, and they pop out because they now know, people have learned that they have a right to exercise their constitutional right to create another state, municipality, or land. But other folks have known this for centuries, because that's why you have municipalities and in different states, because they already knew that they had a right to do that. We're just learning this today. So that being said, your community is Superman. You just know Superman as Superman. But what you didn't know, Superman got the trade and skills to build stuff. Super, what do you do for a living?
My career was I was an electrical engineer in the oil and gas industry. I did control systems for wells and completions.
Damn. And may I ask your age? Do you still know how to do that now?
Oh yeah, I just turned 50. I'm an old man.
Okay. Well, I got you by some years, bruh. Now see, Super is a prime example. We got an electrical engineer, all kinds of trades. And this is who you want to grab and take with you. You already got your electrical system put up. But we have other people. We have thousands of our people in our community that do other kinds of trades. You have the carpenters. You have all that. We have all that in our communities. They're the professional ones that know how to build it right and not half-ass. They know the right wood or bricks to get to build units and stuff and businesses. They're across the 50 states. They're in our communities. This is why I said you can't discriminate when you're talking about community buildings. You're talking about indigenous people to the United States who are born citizens here legally with skill and trade. You want to take them with you because they want better lives too. They don't want to live in a community that's so disgusting like our inner cities. And that business owner has a whole new different outlook on his business now. And they have more hope in keeping their business open because they're now in a community that's going to support them. So you take them and go. You take all of them and go. You bounce. I'm dear sure going to look for a bunch of Supermans in the community because that's the part of community organizing. When you get in these meetings, when you're planning, what do you do as a profession? Okay, you can be a supervisor over everyone that's in electrical trades, but they all have to be licensed by their states. And you can be the supervisor of all the electricians that's going to wire our communities. Then you have the carpenters, the ones who build the structures. We have all this. See, Copper said he does the carpentry. And by the time we're going to have our local, state, and fire and code inspectors. All that. When you leave, you're going to be taking literally firemen with you. Building officials. They have these trades. We got firemen. So you got your fire marshal in the new community. You got every trade that you're taking with you to build this new city, state, or municipality. You got all of it with you. Remember, these are the people that have a life and work and pay taxes. This is who you're taking. Color. The hell with color. The ignorance, we leave all that in the inner city. I don't give a damn what the race is. You're taking Asians, you're coming taking all citizens with you. People from India, you got your computer programmers and everything coming with you that are the greatest assets to communities. So we're going to get down tomorrow, Monday Night Madness at 4:00 with the good part, the second half of the slides. I have them already done, so I'm going to leave them back here, end this session, and hope that you tune in tomorrow. If I know a lot of you will probably still be at work when I go live, because on the West Coast, if I'm going live at 4, it's only like 1 o'clock on the West Coast. But you can certainly listen in. So I'll be back tomorrow. And y'all know me later. I lay down. When Smoke go live, I just listen. I be listening in the chat because it'd be funny. Smoke funny as hell. He's the goddamn Joker and Superman too. So I love that channel. It's fun for me. It's healthy for me. It makes me laugh. They make me laugh. They really do. That's why I support Smoke Channel. And I be sharing, to his channel for y'all to come in and get your laugh on because he's funny as hell. And I like him because Smoke is the type of person that if you don't like a certain person, that don't mean he's going to dislike you. Other people in our community ain't like that. They think that you're supposed, they dislike you, that you're not supposed to like them or affiliate with them. And I like Smoke because he's not that kind of man. He's his own man. That's why his channel is growing so fast. So I'm going to get out of here, you guys, and call it a day. You got something else you want to say, Superman, before I end the show?
Everybody in the sound of my voice, just let the Lord use you today. Let him use you in any kind of way. It can be big or small. Just let him use you. Amen.
All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Super. I'll see you on Smoke Channel later. I know I will. See y'all later.
Later, alligator.